think.
So where the fears coming?
Yes.
Well, in some vectors, usually, especially in this visual vector, if the person has in the childhood, if he has, like, sometimes parents take him for funerals or they watch horror movies with the, it could impact, it could happen. Now it's a lot of every vector different way, because and they have different fears. We don't have the same fears. And society, parents, I mean, it's all school, they're all trying to look. For example, now all society, they want you to be in masks, stay home. Why? Because when person in fear, it's easier to control him. Well, that's what parents do. Be careful, you know, devils are gonna come at night, so behave. And the person already cannot sleep, as child, I mean. And all these story tales about bad things he ate. Somebody, red had been eaten by wolf, her grandma was, they cut her stomach. I mean, it's too much for a child, you understand?
Yeah.
And then he starts to visualize all that. And he's like, what the hell? It builds up from there. I mean, everything we get in, yes, from childhood. Our habits but biggest fear, it's sexual energy, and that fear that we control, like society controls. You cannot talk about that, but you can watch movie about people killing each other, but not sexual movie, because that's most powerful energy, and that's how you can control people. Every time when they have these fears, that's the core, that sexual energy, when you can control churches, government, everybody. You can do this. If children, mother tells them you cannot masturbate, you cannot, I mean, they do stuff that person already grows up, he scares even to talk about that. Because he scares of that, that holds your energy. You cannot really open up. You have to, you're always gonna be scared, because it's most important, it's most powerful energy. It's with this energy we do everything else. We build businesses, we build bridges because of this powerful energy. But if you really have a lot of insecurities and fears about that, you cannot really have this fulfilled life. You're always gonna be, you understand? And it's easier to control by government. You cannot talk about that in school. Mother don't talk about that. Father, we don't. Nobody's talking about it. It's like taboo, you know. So because we have this taboo, that's how you can control people, because it's most powerful energy. That's how now. But most of the fears, yeah, they come from childhood. That's where it starts. Again, some fears you can have, you can be adult and dog can bite you and you're scared of dogs. So sometimes things have to, you need to work with this person different way. It's not from childhood trauma. So you need to figure out the reason. But you see, one of the biggest problems, people are very disattached, as I said, from nature, and they only focus on themselves. When you focus only on yourself, it makes you weak, because when you can merge with the nature, like lions, they even feel where their wind blows, you know, right? When they hunt. People don't feel nothing. They disattached. Because you're disattached of nature, nature doesn't give you its power. You have to merge with nature. You have to come and feel the earth and air and this ocean and kind of feel it and merge with that. That's what gives you power. When you disattach from everything, you by yourself against nature. That's why you become very weak, and it can lead to a lot of fears also. Now, because you disattached from this nature, you disattach from other people. You're scared of other people. And if you don't help other people, if you don't use your empathy, you can say love, empathy, and really, like for example, dermal visual vector woman, if you look at a movie about the war and you see everybody's panicking and only girls like you, they just pick up the soldier and take him out of the battlefield and help him, right? And they don't panic. What happened? Why?
They never panic.
So why? What's going on? This empathy toward other person, this love, you can say, to the soldier, and empathy, when she brings that empathy, that takes fear out. Now we don't have battlefields, but you can always volunteer, help some, I don't know, some kids. So when you volunteer and help other people, few hours a day, a week is not a big deal. That empathy that you bring to other people, that helpless people or sick or children, is gonna take that fear out. It's gonna help you. That's another thing about that fear. You understand?
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're not gonna able to bring it out. Even if I'll explain you how to get rid of certain situations, even if you know how, you still not gonna be 100%. You still have to volunteer. For example, you're from Moscow.
Yes.
Okay, so how about volunteering? It doesn't have to be in Moscow. It can be anywhere. You can volunteer here in the hospital. It can be anywhere. You understand? It doesn't. But in Moscow, it's probably more need. They need more help than here. What I would do, maybe I would eventually, I'm gonna go back to business after I put up the training. I stopped business maybe for 4 years already. Because you can't do everything. Or you do this, or you have family, or you have business, or you do something else. You can't do everything. When I'll get back to business, I might still build some hospital. Maybe I'm from Odessa. Maybe over there, or maybe it could be in Moscow. It doesn't matter. Maybe for some, or here. Here they have more money and resources. Over there, Ukraine is more less resources and money, so it's easier to help them. Maybe small hospital, or for disabled kids. Maybe 10, 20 kids, whatever. So when you do that, look, as a woman, imagine you have a small hospital for maybe 5, 10 kids, or it's a house they could live, orphans, the orphan place, what do you call, and once a year maybe you send them presents, or a few times a year you go visit them, and you support this place, this whatever hospital or whatever it is, and that feeling that you're gonna have is gonna really fulfill your. Sometimes people say they don't feel happy. It's basically endorphins, happiness hormones. You just need to know how to trigger them, what triggers. So this will help you, and helps also to get rid of fears. You come once a year, twice a year, they call you mama, mommy. Why? Because they use your energy. You have to support them, right? Yeah. So that's what makes a woman more fulfilled, that empathy. Man, it's also, but a little bit different. You understand? Now, let's say person cannot build hospital, but you can always help here or there, a couple hours a week, anybody can find. You understand? And that will help to